Elon Musk has leaked explosive details from a private call revealing his prediction of 12 years of Republican dominance through Trump's second term followed by 2 terms for J.D. Vance, effectively torpedoing Donald Trump's desperate claims about illegally running for a 3rd term in 2028. This bombshell comes amid Trump's plummeting approval ratings hitting -24 in the latest Gallup poll, with 60% disapproval just shy of 1 year into his presidency. The fracture in the MAGA coalition is accelerating with resignations from figures like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Backlash over the Epstein files cover-up exposing Trump's vulnerabilities. Musk's comments during a secretive Department of Government Efficiency reunion underscore how even his staunchest backers are already pivoting away from Trump toward Vance as the future face of the GOP. Donald Trump's presidency is unraveling faster than anyone anticipated, with his approval sinking to historic lows and his once ironclad MAGA base splintering under the weight of scandals and policy failures. A fresh Gallup poll released today paints a devastating picture, showing Trump 24 points underwater at 36% approval and 60% disapproval barely 11 months in. Every key issue from immigration to the economy draws overwhelming disapproval, with margins as wide as 33 points hammering home the breadth of public discontent. This dire polling context fuels Trump's frantic maneuvers, including floating unconstitutional 3rd-term bids to cling to relevance as midterms loom with predictions of a Republican wipeout. Elon Musk's leaked prediction of a 12-year Trump-Vance era delivered at a clandestine Doge reunion blows the lid off Trump's 2028 fantasies, signaling that tech oligarchs are already abandoning him for Vance. The Epstein cover-up has ignited fury even among Republicans, forcing hundreds to revolt against Trump's defense of the sex trafficker and refusal to release files he once promised to declassify. Tonight's special House election in a ruby-red district that Trump won by 22 points has GOP insiders sweating a potential loss amid tightening polls. Democratic sweeps last month set the stage for this bruising stretch, with no relief in sight for the flailing administration. Trump's threats against dissenting Republicans only accelerate the coalition's fracture, as figures like Thomas Massie warn of the MAGA endgame. Musk's pivot highlights the cold calculations of billionaire backers eyeing Vance as their vehicle for unchecked AI dominance and government spending on tech surveillance. Trump's second term is barreling toward catastrophe, with approval ratings cratering across the board in a Gallup poll that spares no issue from scrutiny. On crime, he trails by 9 points, on foreign affairs by 15, on trade by 19, and shockingly, on his signature immigration stance, by a crushing 25 points despite relentless propaganda. The Middle East draws 25-point disapproval, the economy 26, the Russia-Ukraine war 29, and both budget and healthcare top out at 33-point deficits, exposing a presidency adrift without a single policy bright spot. This unyielding negativity, even among independents and segments of his MAGA base, has prompted resignations like Marjorie Taylor Greene's and early retirements from congressional Republicans, signaling deep unease. The Epstein files scandal has supercharged the revolt, with hundreds of GOP lawmakers publicly breaking ranks over Trump's minimization of the sex trafficker and leniency toward co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump's response includes threats against any Republican daring to defy him, while he and allies like his stooges float absurd 3rd-term scenarios despite the 22nd Amendment's ironclad bar. Elon Musk's November 22 virtual appearance at a Doge reunion in Bastrop, Texas, leaked to the press, reveals his vision of 12 years under Trump, then Vance, dismissing assassination fears as rationale for the succession plan. The event's secrecy, with phones in pouches and bus transport for 150 attendees, underscores the high-stakes plotting among federal cost-cutters Musk installed across agencies. This leak directly undercuts Trump's 2028 posturing, as Musk eyes Vance, groomed by Peter Thiel, for economic populism masking tech oligarch agendas. Tonight's House race in a Trump plus 22 district tightens, per Washington Post and Politico reports, with Republicans bracing for defeat 2 hours before polls close, amplifying national tremors. Inside the high-ceilinged Musk-owned building near SpaceX and Boring Company facilities in Bastrop, Texas, roughly 150 current and former Doge members gathered on November 22, their families flown in for a reunion shrouded in utmost secrecy. Phones surrendered to security pouches ensured no leaks during Musk's virtual dial-in from a pitch-black, undisclosed location, his face emerging on screen to predict a golden 12-year Republican era, starting with Trump's term, then two for J.D. Vance. Attendees, two of whom spoke anonymously along with a familiar source, described the electric tension as Musk addressed the group he had embedded across federal agencies to slash spending and jobs. Buses idled outside ready to whisk participants away post-event, maintaining the veil over discussions of future political maneuvers. The venue, a converted boring bodega convenience store, hummed with the weight of insider plotting far from Washington's chaos, where Trump's White House reels from Gallup's grim numbers. Meanwhile, in that ruby-red House district, voters streamed to polls 2 hours from closing in a race GOP strategists once banked on easily, with Trump's 22-point edge now evaporating into sweat-inducing tightness. MSNBC's Ari Melber captured the scene from studios, framing the contest as a national bellwether after Democrats' recent sweep bruised Republicans further. Back in Bastrop, the air crackled with Musk's bullish certainty on Vance's ascent, his words landing like a grenade on Trump's third-term bluster. Attendees exchanged glances heavy with the realization that their cost-cutting mission now pivots to backing a Thiel protege over the fading strongman. The event wrapped under floodlights, buses rolling out into Texas night, carrying whispers of a post-Trump GOP recalibration. Elon Musk's leaked predictions sent shockwaves through Trump's orbit, with anonymous Doge attendees reeling at the overt signal that billionaire backers view the president as a mere bridge to Vance's era. Trump's stooges pushing 2028 alternatives post-midterms now face ridicule, as Musk's words expose the hollowness of third-term fever dreams barred by constitutional steel. Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation ripples with raw frustration over Epstein fallout, where Trump's file-hoarding defense of a sex trafficker alienated even diehards. Thomas Massie and other Republicans voice open dread of MAGA's impending collapse, urging party focus beyond Trump's ego-driven threats. Peter Thiel's shadow looms large, having bankrolled Vance's venture capital start Senate primary with $15 million, and VP slot engineering a protege unbound by Trump's baggage. Tech oligarchs from the PayPal mafia, including Musk and Thiel, seethe over untapped AI windfalls, demanding Vance to funnel billions in government cash with minimal regulation. Vance's feigned economic populism on affordability masks his loyalty to surveillance giants like Palantir, terrorizing communities via ICE contracts. Democrats bask in the House race's tightness, Ari Melber, noting GOP sweat in a district once safely red after their sweep shattered expectations. Trump's insecurity manifests in merch-peddling, praise-seeking, and base-arm twisting, yet polls show independents fleeing and MAGA fringes eroding. Healthcare fix promises from last week evaporate into silence, leaving millions bracing for premium spikes, fueling 33-point disapproval fury. The revolt of hundreds against Epstein leniency marks a tipping point where Republicans rediscover voices long silenced by loyalty oaths. Trump's minus 24 approval plunge dissects as a referendum on overreach, with immigration's 25-point flop undermining his core narrative and economy's 26-point drag, foretelling midterm Armageddon. Musk's 12-year Vance blueprint analyzes as a ruthless pivot where tech titans jettison Trump once his utility wanes, prioritizing AI subsidies over personality cults. The Doge reunion's secrecy betrays paranoia over leaks, yet ironically amplifies them, exposing fractures in the alliance that propelled Trump back to power. Thiel's $15 million Vance investment decodes as buying a compliant vessel for Palantir's billions in taxpayer-funded surveillance, eyeing unchecked AI dominance, costing jobs and spiking energy bills. Trump's third-term taunts reek of desperation, clinging to power as resignations like Greene's signal base hemorrhage over Epstein's toxic taint. The House race's upset potential in Trump country slices through GOP complacency post-sweep, revealing voter revulsion at budget healthcare and war mishandlings. Vance's affordability pose crumbles under scrutiny as Thiel grooming prioritizes oligarch enrichment over populist relief post-Trump economic wreckage. Musk's algorithm tweaks on X hint at subtle sabotage, dimming Trump's digital megaphone in favor of Vance grooming. Constitutional 22nd Amendment feints expose Trump's authoritarian itch, yet galvanize Republican defections wary of legal suicide. Tonight's polls closing in 2 hours crystallize the lame duck aura, accelerating MAGA's entropy before midterms even hit. Overall, the calculus tilts toward a post-Trump realignment, where 5 AI-obsessed moguls eclipse 1 insecure ex-leader's sunset. The bitter afterglow of Musk's leak lingers like smoke from a dying fire, Trump's once unassailable aura reduced to frantic 2028 whispers echoing hollow against constitutional walls. Vance's shadow lengthens courtesy of Till's billions, a calculating heir apparent, whose affordability mask barely conceals AI-fueled oligarch, dreams devouring jobs, and bills unchecked. Epstein's specter haunts the fracturing MAGA remnants. Green's exit, a stark emblem of loyalty's limits, when trafficker ties turn toxic. Tonight's ruby red upset tease sours GOP stomachs, foreshadowing midterm bloodbaths, where Trump's plus 22 bastions crumble under disapproval avalanches. Healthcare silence screams neglect as premiums loom like guillotines for millions, amplifying the 33-point rage. Musk's pitch-black dial-in evokes shadowy cabals where secrecy births betrayal, tech titans toasting 12-year reigns over Thanksgiving turkey remnants. Trump's merch hawking and praise hunger taste desperate, now a fallen strongman's sunset scramble amid Massey's and his near dirge. Democrats sweep imprints triumphs edge, urging replication of Afton Bain's mold in blue wave aspirants. The lame duck chill settles early presidency, not yet 1 year old, yet wheezing toward irrelevance. Ultimately, this tableau impresses a democracy clawing back from authoritarian flirtations, warriors like dissenting Republicans and steadfast Democrats refusing to yield ground to insecure emperors.